Welcome to Product League's Product Management Debate. Are product managers the new ethical gatekeepers? The moral dilemma in product management here today on your screen. Our speakers today are Gal Polonsky, lead product manager at Baba Entertainment and Product League mentor, arguing against product managers as primary ethical gatekeepers. And Elkayam, Principal Product Manager at Pioneer and Product League Mentor, advocating for product managers' ethical responsibility in the company. We begin with opening statements from both speakers.
Hi, my name is Gal Polonsky, and I will represent why product managers are not the gatekeepers of the business world.
Hi, I'm Elkayam. I will be representing that PMs are the ethical gatekeepers of the business world.
Round 1 explores ethical responsibility, leadership versus product managers. Do product managers even have the chance to be the ethical gatekeeper in product development?
So, my first argument is when ethics fail, it's usually because leadership didn't make it priority. PMs follow the company direction so they can fix ethics if the top level vision isn't right. So, for example, we have the AI of X that can generate adult content. Is it the PM's decision to make it or not make it? No, it's Elon Musk's decide if he wants to do it or not.
That's a great point. I have to agree that leadership usually is the one who decides ethics, and it's really out of the PM, which brings me to my first point. The reason we as product managers have to be the ethical barrier is we are the voice not only of the business, but of the users. If we do unethical practices, like he said, what Elon Musk is doing every day on X, we're gonna hurt the user. You're the only one who can stop your leadership, your Elon Musk. Because if you look at who leadership is today, it's either from startups, it's gonna be a VC who prioritizes people who don't have ethics, or it's shareholders where you have to, in order to stay on the board and stay in your leadership role, you have to be unethical. So that only leaves us to be the ethical barrier, even though leadership is the one who's supposed to be showing us how to be ethical.
Yeah, really great point. But eventually, um, Elon Musk is directing the product or the vision of the company. And basically, if you, the product manager, tell him, listen, I don't want to do it, or the users don't want it. So basically, you will be fired and you will find else product manager that will replace you. So
What's your take? Should ethical responsibility lie primarily with leadership or with product managers? Share your thoughts in the chat. Round 2 tackles business metrics versus ethical considerations. How do product managers balance growth targets with ethical product development?
So my second point on why ethics is a must for product managers is as PMs not having an ethical responsibility has led to really shitty products. Just look at Google search. It's objectively worse every year, and that's because product managers don't have to be ethical anymore. They just have to increase engagement, and we all suffer because of it.
nice point. And I think that PMs usually are measured by how much their product grows, how many people use it, and how much money it makes to the business. It's how to push back on decisions that prioritize business goals over doing what's right. So if you want a contra for it, it's like Facebook and Instagram. It's cause a mental health for issues mental health for teenagers. It's like it's not something that the PM thought it will be wrong for the teenagers because you don't think about it. It's not the things that drive business and know what's the long-term issues that gonna cause those problems for teenagers.
That's a really great point. That's especially about everything about mental health. But what I think your point even makes stronger is they're not looking at the customer problems. They're not looking how it affects their mental health, what the value is. If they don't, if they just look at the business metrics and not what the customer needs, be the user's voice, then this is going to lead to problems exactly like the one stated.
We want to hear from you. How can product managers effectively balance business goals with ethical considerations? Drop your opinion in the comments. You know how the algorithm works, so please go ahead and hit the like button to show us some product love. Our final round addresses societal impact versus product focus. Should product managers consider broader societal implications in their decision-making process?
A big ethical decision often involves society as a whole, not just the company. PMs are too close to the work to think about the big picture, but see how decision might affect people outside the company. Let's, for example, say content moderation in TikTok. Do PMs can regulate it and keep developing the product at the same times? This is why we have politicians, and this is why we have like policies and everything, and the lobbies that working on those things.
That's a really interesting point, Gal.
Thank you.
If I think about it, you're completely right. A lot of times we're going to be missing it or not clear on what the ethical side is, which just makes it even stronger that when you know what the right ethical decision is and what you need to do from an ethics point of view, that's when you have to be the ethical gatekeeper. Which brings me to my third point on why you should be as a gatekeeper of ethics as a product manager. The best reason of all, the most selfish reason, your career. You don't want to, in 5 to 10 years, be ashamed of what you worked on or not even able to talk about it. You want to work on products that you're proud of, that you can showcase all along your career, really show how much value you bring. No one's going to hire a product manager from Theranos.
So from Serenos, no, but from Facebook's it causes mental health, or Instagram's it's causing like a lot of issues for children. Is it ethical? Do you want to hire a product manager from them? Definitely you want it. You want to like recruit a person that make a lot of impact. Doesn't matter what the product did. I think you will, because if you find a product that increase revenue by 50%, doesn't matter on what product you worked on, you probably do it. Doesn't matter what the ethical was behind it.
The debate is heating up. Who is making the stronger case so far? Is it Gal or is it Guy? Let us know your current stance in the chat. To conclude, our speakers will address 3 critical questions. In which scenarios are ethical considerations crucial for a product manager, and when might they be less critical?
In my opinion, the moral dilemma of product manager in small companies or in even little startups, I think that in small startups, they definitely needs to move fast as much as they can and drive a lot of impact to this world. It doesn't matter specifically if it's regulated or not, or if it's helping the users or hurting them, but this is what we need to do as a small startup.
I think Gal said the perfect word, impact, about when you should be ethical, or maybe let's look at the ethics. If you have a huge impact, like you work on YouTube or Twitter, every decision you make impacts millions of users. That's when you have to be ethical. But even if you work for a giant company and you're something B2B, moving data between one company to another, if you have less of an impact, ethics isn't that important. It's not about how much your ethics impacts your users and the world.
Yeah, I think that this is why we have the policies for GDPR and everything, so you can't move data from one point to another. Even if you're a small startup, you have the basic rules that you can hang on. I think as ethics, we are talking about the gray area between what is in the policies and how we can navigate ourselves and our product through those policies. In small startups, you don't even you won't read the policies. So I think
Here's a juicy question for you guys. Should a product manager's past experience working on a less moral product affect the decision to hire them in the future?
Again, going back to my reason of selfishness and building your career. If you bring someone to your team, you don't want an unethical decision to ruin everything. You have to look at the person you're hiring and making sure he doesn't do unethical decisions, which will hurt you because as a product leader, every decision your product managers do is a decision that you've also implicitly backed.
cool. So I need to understand from you, what do you think is unethical? Because people may think like a different things about unethical. So give me one example, like if you can.
If they're really proud of how their impact has increased uh, user revenue by 100%, but it was wildly unethical, like giving kids the ability to pay from the parents' credit card, that would be a huge no for me. If it's just working from a company that is supposed to be unethical, you can still be as ethical as possible in an unethical space. And of course, I'm going to interview them and add them to my team.
So I definitely agree with you that what they did is unethical, but I don't think that my unethical things are the same more as you. So a lot of discussions in forums saying that if you are from gaming industry, you won't be able to progress to another companies because you're in the gaming industry and the gaming industry is unethical. So basically, most of the gaming industry are ethical in their way, like you're visiting in a Facebook, for example, and Facebook are driving you engagement and giving you the time that you will be there and earning money on your back. While on gaming, it's the same thing. I don't think it's not unethical. Like you can stop playing, as you can stop playing, as you can stop visiting Facebook. And even if you're moving forward to other platform like hub platform for the game for gambling. Even in gambling, they're giving you the credit to, hey, do you want to self-exclude and don't want to play anymore? You can do it anytime. And then the company can't reach you. So basically, the unethical statements that I hear them, not from you, in the world, it's a pretty much the company decision if they want to do it. Like what you mentioned, your example, are examples that the company want to make it. I don't think that the product manager who decided that kids can pay knew what he's doing. So this is my point of view.
And I just want to add one last thing to it. If you work at a very ethical company, your impact could be less than someone who is very ethical at an unethical company. So again, to reiterate Gal's point, it doesn't matter where the person is from. If the company is considered less moral or more moral, it's the person itself. Look at what he did, look at his impact, and that's why he should be on your team.
The last question for the debaters is, what points of agreement do you share with your opponent?
I have to really agree with Gal's second point and how PMs were measured by how much a product grows, how many people use it, how our KPIs are affected. Because I think we're also going to be measured by how ethical a product is. If we do unethical decisions and while making it go, a lot of times it could help us, but maybe long term, being unethical will help in the company itself or in my career.
Mhm. Well, so I agree with you on one thing, that in small companies, product manager definitely should be the gatekeepers, listen to the user voice because we are in a challenging environment, and each person that you are engaged in your product is definitely will increase all the KPIs and everything else.
Enjoy this debate? Here's how you can support Product League. Hit like if this video gave you insights. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more product management content. Share with your network to spread the knowledge. And don't forget, Gal and Guy are live during the premiere to answer your questions and debate with you whether product managers are the new ethical gatekeepers and all you need to know about the moral dilemma in product management. Let's debate! Now, our speakers will deliver their closing statements.
In conclusion, I think that product managers shouldn't be the gatekeepers of the companies. Basically, it depends on the size of the company. So if it's a small company and you don't have a lot of people, like a small startup, basically, yeah, probably product manager will do it. And it will be the gatekeeper. But as long as the product is getting bigger and the company getting bigger, the product manager shouldn't be there to increase KPIs, to increase the revenue of the company and show how much we are worth to our investors and our stakeholders and whatsoever.
So to summarize, I believe product managers have to be the ethical gatekeepers. I feel like it's a win-win for you on every stage. If it's looking at your career, if it's making a product you're proud of and doesn't continue to be shittier and shittier, and because you always want to be the voice of the user. You and as long as you stay ethical and you're the ethical bastion in your organization, you're gonna have a career you're proud of and products you're proud of.
Product League mentors are here to support you in becoming the best product manager you can be. Please hit the like button and share this video with your colleagues so we can grow as a community. Let's debate!